Hello, and welcome to the first episode of At Sixes and Sevens, a Changeling the Lost actual play podcast, presented by Flaming Sofa Productions. This episode will be unique in that it's going to focus instead of on our story, but on background. Our storyteller, Chris, will begin with a brief background about the Chronicle, as well as some information about the Changeling the Lost role-playing system. Then, each of our players will do small, short backgrounds on their characters to kind of get you acquainted with the story and what's going on with them. Well, we hope that you enjoy listening, and let's get it on.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I am the storyteller for this chronicle. The game we are playing is Changeling the Lost by White Wolf Publishing. The Changeling setting exists as part of White Wolf's larger, horror and mystery-oriented World of Darkness storytelling game system. In general, I like to focus on the narrative and character development, applying the actual game mechanics as more guideline than law. Therefore, you will encounter a looser interpretation of the system as you listen in on our sessions. Also, I trust the players encourage them to inject their own descriptions, story hooks, and characterizations into the main storyline as we go along, creating a cooperative atmosphere. I hope that this enhances rather than detracts from your enjoyment while listening along with our gaming sessions. The first story we will play is called At Sixes and Sevens. The title refers to an old expression meaning confusion and misdirection. Changeling is a game where reality is never 100% certain, and is populated by characters who have been twisted and driven mad after enduring cruel enslavement by the inhuman Fae. So, as our player characters emerge blinking and bewildered from the thorny border between worlds, they will find themselves at sixes and sevens.
My name is Shane, and I play John Doe, the Razorhand Darkling. John was taken at the age of 10 for trying to help a lost child in the woods. The child was actually a trap, and John was taken to become a soldier for a Fae's army. He was taken for his kindness, so it could be completely wiped from him, turning him into a merciless killer. The only thing that kept John going was the memory of his family. When he finally escaped, what was 10 years in Arcadia ended up only being a couple months in the mortal world. Now he is trapped as a monster, unable to return to the one thing that kept him going.
My name is Colton, and my character is Dragonheart, aka DH, the Wielder of War, a Draconic Fairest changeling. Before being taken by the gentry, my character was a military officer and veteran who served in Afghanistan. After being diagnosed with PTSD, he left the military, found the love of his life, and acquired a job as a rookie FBI field agent in Tampa. On the eve of his change, Dragonheart was in a diner with his fiancée Alice, when a thief opened fire in the diner and shot Alice. The Lord of War appeared to him as a claymore blade and convinced him to fight and to take his revenge. For the next 4 years, Dragonheart commanded the Lord of War's armies from his gargantuan crystal fortress covered in ivy vines. My character is a few inches over 6 feet, muscular and fearsome. His skin is rough, scaly, and covered in chunks of dazzling diamond. His hands have long, razor-like claws for nails, and his canine teeth are elongated. His eyes glow with a crystal blue hue, and his hair is azure, diamond-encrusted, and drawn back in a ponytail. Dragonheart is attractive, but his beauty is terrifying, and people stop to stare from a distance when they see him. His strengths involve his petrifying demeanor, knowledge of battle, and fearsome combat prowess. His vice of lust for combat seduces him into any fight, while his virtue of fortitude drives him with the motivation for each and every battle. He has been told what to fight for throughout his entire life, but his destiny will soon be in his own hands as he fights in the battle of his life.
Hi, my name is Sara, and my character is Once, a Fatemaker Fairest changeling, a weaver of living fairy tales. Before she was taken, Once was a student at USF, the University of South Florida, in Tampa. She was studying finance, but her heart was really devoted to filmmaking, a passion that her parents, especially her stepmother, found to be simply a childish whim, unable to turn a profit. Once devoted her free time to writing and creating short stories, and dreaming about one day becoming a great director, despite her parents' objections. And it was this dreaming that was the cause of her abduction. While Once was not exactly a stellar student of academics, she was exceptionally gifted at creating stories and using her imagination, and it was this skill that drew the attention of a true fae. One night, Once was approached by a fantastically wealthy-looking woman who claimed to be a producer and offered to make all of Once's dreams come true. course, once agreed, and it was on that night that she was taken away to Arcadia and would be ever changed. In Arcadia, she directed stories all right, but the stories were not played by actors, but real people. The stories became true. Once found, she could weave and nudge fate to create entertaining spectacles for her fate keeper. Controlling the fate of others was certainly a rush, addictive even, but once became envious. She wanted to control her own fate as she could others, and so she began to elegantly weave into the pattern of fate in her stories these small hooks that should eventually allow her an opening to escape her fate keeper. She hopes that her story will be a happy ending. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope that we've whetted your appetite for what's to come in our Changeling the Lost Chronicle, titled At Sixes and Sevens. We would love to hear your feedback, so feel free to email me any of your thoughts or comments to feedback@flamingsofa.com. You can also check out our website at www.flamingsofa.com for episode links, character portraits, an interactive map that will update throughout the Chronicle, and many more supplemental materials for this game. Once again, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for our next episode, episode number 2, which will be Chapter 1, Scene 1, entitled Padded Cells.